engaged and everything? It's all good to go? Yeah. Okay. Seconds. 15. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Baby, when I think about you, I think about love. Darling, I don't live without you and your love. If I had those golden dreams of my yesterday, I would wrap you in the heaven, but really dying on the way. Feel like making, feel like making love, feel like making love, feel like making love, feel like making love to you. Baby, if I think about you, I think about love. Darling, if I live without you, I live without love. And if I had...
I'd like to welcome everyone to the show. You tried for it, now get it. Our weekly show on unemployment, and there's also a little bit of the show how to remember people's names. So it's a two-part show, twofold. As most of you know who have watched weekly, we first read some letters and some top 10 lists that Joel made, and then we take some calls on unemployment and remembering people's names. But tonight we have a special guest who actually, he collected unemployment in Iowa City. So we're going to interview him in a few minutes here and get some insight on the unemployment process. Because while I have hosted a show on unemployment, I've never collected unemployment. So, but first we're going to start out with a few letters and from top 10 lists. Okay. This first letter is going to be tough to read, but I'm going to attempt to do it. Okay, it says, "Dear, you earned it, didn't you?" And it's actually, "You earned it, now go for it," but close enough. "I'm shocked and disgusted by the language on your show. Last week a guest said," here's the F word, "sweet whistle, cream candy," in a suggestive way, which is true. I mean, it wasn't suggestive. We did say these phrases, and spoke of some explicit, and some violent things he did to it. Please refrain from this kind of language. I have a child. Love, Henry. Well, Henry, thank you for the letter. It's true that we do use some abusive language from time to time, but I think it's only to get a point across, and but we will watch it. See, it's mainly Joel that uses the language, and I really have no control over that. He also wrote a top 10 list, which is a top 10 towns. Top 10 towns. Number 10, Mount Vernon. Number 9, West Liberty. Number 8, London. Number 7, Ancient Rome. Number 6, Sheboygan. Sheboygan, Illinois, Wisconsin. Couldn't be confused with Sheboygan, Illinois. Dubuque, the key city. East Dubuque. Iowa City, Chicago, and Washington, D.C. So, for those people that had called and asked for the top 10 cities, there's your request. Next, we got a letter here from Phil. We actually got a lot of letters and some emails. The email address, I don't recall, but a lot of people know the email address. Okay. Sam and Joel, I recently bought a package of Alphabet pretzels. There was a protection seal over the top of the container, which presumably was to discourage tampering with the product. However, this seal was just a regular sticker that could be peeled off and put back on, and nobody would know the difference. My question is that if somebody put a poison in the pretzels and resealed it, then I bought it and ate some and got sick and could not go to work for a couple of days, who would have to pay my unemployment for the 2 days I missed work? Would it be my job since I bought the pretzels or the company on company time, or would it be the pretzel company for the failure to affix a proper seal? I apologize for the large vocabulary, but as you can probably tell, I'm a college student. Phil. Well, Phil, I really have no idea as far as the answer to that question, but I can give you some advice that I've learned personally. I think Joel knows the same thing, but try to stay away from all natural foods. That's all I can say. Okay, this is a top 10 list that Joel made up. Top 10 things I, Joel, can do now that I lost the 40 pounds, my personal goal since June. Top 10 things Joel can now do since he lost some weight. Number 10, I can stop feeling so bad about my appearance. Number 9, I can start eating the KFC buffet again. Number 8, I can sleep at night without the guilty feeling that I am letting my friends and family down by being so fat all the time. Number 7, I don't have to exercise anymore, which is a plus. Number 6, I can ask my girlfriend to not break up with me. Number 5, I can get my job back at the library. Number 4, I don't have to share things with my sister anymore since she moved back to Kansas City. Number 3, I can once again enjoy fatty foods without the guilty feeling that I should not do that because it makes me fat. Number 2, I can move back in with my parents. And the number 1 thing I can do now that I've lost the 40 pounds is self-esteem, which is the key. We have a few more letters here in top 10 lists, but I think what we'll do now is bring out our guest. I'll read one more letter, then I'll bring out the guest. Dear Sam and Joel, great show last week. I thought the advice you gave to the guy considering breaking up with his girlfriend was right on the money. You were right, he could do better. My question concerns the guests you sometimes have on the show. There seems to be a trend in the type of people you have as guests. Is this intentional or just coincidence? Just wondering. Keep up the good work, PJ Hoffman. Well, PJ, I think this will answer your question right here with our next guest. Looks like we have our email address up there. Looks like Jess Lepson. It's JESLEPSON at AOL.com. For you that are computer literate. We also have a website, which I believe is www.aptv.com/hometown/ you earned it, I believe. But Joel can check on that. All right, so now I'm going to bring out a guest, Jay Miller. Hopefully that doesn't mind I use his last name, but he's been a lifelong resident of Iowa City and just recently started collecting unemployment. So we're going to have Jay out here answer a few questions about unemployment. Maybe if Jay's off to take a few phone calls from you guys out in the public about did you have about unemployment, and just some of the basics. So Jay, if Jay wants to come out when he gets a chance. I think right now he's in the bathroom, but when he gets done, then we'll go from there. I can read a top 10 list while I wait for Jay. Okay, top 10 dating etiquettes. Top 10 dating etiquettes by Joel. If you are complimented by your date, compliment them back, but not about the exact same thing that you were complimented for. That's probably common sense, though. Number 9, do not touch your date unless they ask you to. Again, common sense. Number 8, if you go to where he, she works to talk to her, him, that does not count as a date. I would count it, but these are Joel's, remember. Number 7, if your date is in high school still, there could be some problems with her, his parents. Number 6, lots of girls say they like walks on the beach and candlelight dinners, but I don't think they really do.
What?
You have to put your microphone on before you talk. You're sitting on it, actually. See it there, hanging there? Yeah, it should be connected to that. Might be behind it. There it is, yeah, okay. Thanks, Joe. Number 5, it takes time to develop a meaningful relationship. Eye contact shows your date that you are looking at her/him. Remember, these are dating etiquettes, so eye contact. Number 4, what is funny to one person is often not funny to the other, especially jokes about sex. Number 3, put on your best behavior. Number 2, public speaking on a date shows confidence that can't be denied. And number 1, top 10 dating etiquettes. Make sure you like her or him. Okay, that's good. All right, well, I'd like to introduce Jay. Jay's a little nervous, obviously. It's his first time on TV, right?
I was on TV before once.
All right, or your second time on TV, right?
I guess, probably.
Okay. And the reason Jay's here is because he recently, about a couple of weeks ago, when you collected unemployment?
Well, it's not really it doesn't really happen in one day. I mean,
But it's about a week ago that you started trying to get unemployment?
no, it's probably longer ago than that. In late January.
All right, well, see, like I said, we host a show on unemployment. We've never actually, I've never collected it, but you
It's
have.
a lot hotter here than it looks on TV.
Yeah, it's because of the lights, especially when you're wearing a sweatshirt or a sweater like I am. But basically, I thought maybe I have some questions for you. But if you wanted to, I see you brought some materials there.
Well, the materials I brought are, I don't know if you can see this. It's called Iowa Workforce Development Unemployment Insurance Facts for Workers. I don't know exactly what that means, but basically what this does is tell you how, once you're already going to be getting unemployment, it tells you what to do to get it. But it'd be pretty hard to understand this until you talk about the other stuff that's happened. So
Okay, you can start
I
from
should
the
probably-
beginning. Yeah.
well, what do you want me to tell you about?
Just basically the process of when, like, what your mindset was. Were you like what went through your head before you collected, or why did you decide you were going to collect it?
Well, the first thing that happened is that I couldn't work at my job anymore for a while. I probably can't. It's against the rules to say the name of the job, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
okay, I had a job and I couldn't work it anymore, but I get to work it again at some point.
Okay.
So I was feeling pretty bad about myself about that because I wasn't going to have a job, and a lot of times people laugh at people who don't have jobs, even though that might not be
They're looked down upon.
even though that might not be really fair. Because sometimes those people are just as nice as the people that have jobs. But what I was thinking is what am I going to do when I don't get a paycheck anymore? Because that's how I pay for things. Like, that's how when you're growing up, when you pay for your rent and you pay for food and other things, like if you want to rent video games or things like that,
This is a job.
you get a job. But I didn't have a job, so somebody told me, or actually, I don't know if I thought of it because I watched your show or what, but I got the idea that I could maybe get unemployment. So you probably remember I called you on
Yeah.
I think it was the January
Yeah.
27th or
Now
something
I'll
like
interrupt here. Jay actually called me at home, which is out of the normal for the show. I usually don't take calls at home.
that.
But I mean, I do take calls at home.
Oh, I thought I called you on
me
the
at home.
show.
No, Jay. That's fine. I mean, he may call me on the show, but what I'm trying to say is I do take calls at home, mainly from girls. But Jay, go ahead.
Okay, well, I called you wherever you were, and excuse me. I said, okay, I already looked in the phone book to find out about how to get unemployment, and I said, but there's a Des Moines number listed,
Right.
and you know, I don't think that's right. So
You shouldn't have to pay Mike to make a call.
right, and I just, you know, Des Moines so far away, they don't know what the difference is with me anyway. So I asked you, do you know a different number I could call, and you gave me a number, and I don't remember what that number is. I'm sorry, I just don't. I mean, I'm sure since you found it once, if anybody wants to call in and find out what that number was, I mean, Sam's the guy that told me, so just ask him, I guess. So I called the number, and I said, what do I have to do to get unemployment? And they said that you have to come in, you can't just call on the phone. And so I said, okay, where are you at? And they said, well, we're at, well, it says Iowa Workforce Development here, and I think that's what it is. And they said that that's out by where the Sycamore Lake Mall is, and it's another mall, but it doesn't really have stores in it. It's across the street. What?
Try to refrain from naming businesses, just for
Oh.
legal reasons.
I don't think that other business is a business anymore. I think the city bought it out, and I think the mayor works there now.
Okay.
Okay, so I went. What was I talking about?
How you called there?
Yeah.
And he's told you where it was at. You can't.
Right.
You had to come in. You can.
Yeah, you had to come in, and it's out by, in this place, and I said, okay, I'll come in then, and he said, well, it's 3:30 now, and we stop signing people up at 3:45. I think. I don't take those times as like gospel, as my mom would say, because those might not be different times. But it was about 15 minutes before they're going to close.
Okay.
And he said, well, unless you live in the area, probably it would be better to come in tomorrow. So I said, yeah, okay, I'll come in tomorrow. So then I didn't. It was the next day before I did
So you just
anything.
relaxed that night then.
Yeah, I mean, it says
Yeah, you had to feel pretty good though, knowing that you were that close to getting unemployment, right?
yeah, I knew that it was looking good, but it was kind of hard to sleep because I knew that, you know, I didn't know for sure what was going to happen when I went in there, because it's always scary when you go into an office with government people and you don't you know what they're going to do. So the next day I got up at 7 in the morning and I went out there, and I walked in, and the first thing I did when I got in there is I noticed that the driver's license place was right next to it, and I decided I would get a driver's license, but I didn't do that till later.
Okay.
After I was done, I went and I got a new driver's license because it was right next door. And I could prove that too. I have a driver's license that has the date on it.
Yeah, that's
But I went in to the unemployment office, and first you have to wait in line to talk to the person in the front. I mean, this seems crazy to me, but then they say, okay, have a seat and talk to a different person, which, you know, why didn't I just wait in line to talk to that person? But that's the way it goes.
The thing is that gives them extra jobs. You know, so they have to hire more people, which is helping us all. That's how I feel, at least. You know. Would you agree with that?
I don't know much
Sorry,
about stuff
I
like
keep
that.
interrupting you, yeah.
I don't know much about stuff like that at all.
Okay.
I just, you know. So I was going, and well, to make a long story short, then I got to talk to the guy
Yeah.
at the office, and he said, "Where did you used to work?"
Yeah.
And then he
told
typed in my social security number, and he had all this list of information of where I'd worked and how much money I'd made, because I guess the government has to keep that kind of information on you, probably in case they need to maybe arrest you or something, so they know where to find you and what you're doing all day. And he said, okay, based on this place that you worked and how much money you're still making, because I have another job where I make money, but not as much.
Not enough to live, right?
Right. Right. And he said that based on that, you can have some. He told me how much money I could have. And then he said, first $39 of the money I make at my other job,
Uh-huh.
doesn't do it doesn't count, or it doesn't do something, and then they figure out from there how much money you're supposed to get every week. So what I had to do was call a phone number, and that phone number is listed right here. And should I tell them what it is?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay. Actually, it's not on this page. I'll look for it. Well, here's a nice list. I don't know if people are going to call in from people that are watching around this. I don't know. Can they see this around the state?
Yeah, this is
I know.
Well, it's rebroadcast on Iowa Public Television.
Okay, and I know that I never actually watched the show on TV. I usually listen to the
It's
simulcast on the internet.
Yeah.
So
I think
I'm
Joel,
sure.
the website is, I think it's www.aptv.com / oh man, I forget now. / AOL / hometown / you earned it. Ampersand. All right, Joel will get the website up there. But anyway, if you don't have access to a TV, or if you're on vacation or whatnot, you can tune in live on the internet. But that's how Jay listens to it. And then maybe actually, Joel, if you can talk to the webmaster and get a list of all these phone numbers for the state on the website, possibly, if Jay would be willing to give that to us.
I can let you copy
Okay.
it down. I need to keep this.
Yeah, just copy. I mean, that's what we're talking. Just
Okay.
copy it down.
But I have a list here. It's got all the towns, like Algona and down here, Muscatine, Spencer, and that's just there's it's like this many
Yeah.
towns. So it's probably you probably live in one of these towns. You can call in and we can give you the phone number for these towns. I'm not sure what this phone number is for. Specific questions about your unemployment insurance claim,
Okay, that'd be good.
or if you're an interstate claimant. I don't know what that means.
So I'm sure it'd be helpful. So that book's really. Where did they get that book at then?
Where did I get this book at?
Did other people get that?
I don't know if they. I got it from the guy. I probably should have told you about that. About the guy at the unemployment office that gave me this book. I don't really see the phone number on here. I think
That's fine.
maybe I don't. I don't know how I call him. That's really strange.
Yeah.
Oh, here it is.
Okay.
This is not where I've seen the number. I usually see the number. It's really big, but this looks like the same number. It's
Okay.
1-800-850-5627, and
So 1-800-850-HAWK. Like there's letters and then you spell it out on the. All right. Well, Joe, 1-800. Say it again. 850-5627.
850-5627.
Okay.
But there's security things on there so that you can't claim my own insurance. You can't claim my money and take it because you don't know my personal identification number, so you can't do it. And I can't get yours either. But if you're not collecting unemployment, it doesn't say anything on here. I think it's probably very wrong to call this number if you don't collect unemployment. And another thing that's very wrong is what the guy told me, and I agree with this 100%. I can't stress that enough. It's very wrong to call this number and lie about how much money that you're supposed to get.
Okay.
You should never do that, ever.
Yeah. That's true for anything, though, as far as lying goes.
Okay, and I told you everything that I did?
I think you told most of the important stuff, I would think.
Okay, after that, I left, and you have to call this every week. That's another
Oh,
thing.
okay.
And tell them how much money you made this week, and then they can figure out from there how much money you're supposed to get. And then this is when I got my driver's license, but that does
Okay.
neither here nor there, as my mom
But
says.
still, I mean, it's if people want to get the driver's license on the same
That's
day.
very convenient, I think.
Yeah.
Though a lot of people that are getting unemployment probably can't afford cars.
Yeah.
So,
That's the thing. Well, I just had a few questions for you if you have time. I know.
yeah, I got time for a few.
Okay. Basically, just some simple ones. I mean, as far as your feelings about unemployment, I mean,
Sorry.
overall with the experience and, do you like unemployment? That's what I'm basically.
Do I like unemployment?
Yeah. Do you like the idea of it?
I like the idea of it because during this last time that I haven't been working, I still get money. Though I should tell you that I haven't gotten any money yet.
Okay.
But they said that it takes like 3 weeks before you get your money. So I haven't got any money yet. So I guess I don't like it that much yet, but I think I'm going to like it when I start getting the money. Because right so far, all that it's been is me calling in on Saturdays, and not getting any money for it, which really it probably makes my life worse rather than better. But I think I'm going to get the money.
But even with all those setbacks, or if you can call them setbacks, you still, I mean, how do you feel about it, though? You still like it, right?
Yeah, I think I like it pretty good.
How do you feel about it then? John?
I feel pretty good about it.
Okay. I mean, I just want, you don't have to make up an answer this first thing, you know. If that's good. This is a tough one. I don't know. If you could, these are kind of wacky questions. I just wrote them last night, but if you could describe unemployment in only one word, what would it be?
Do I have to think of the first word that comes into my head, or
No,
can I
just
think about it?
Think of a word, yeah.
Okay. Convenient.
Convenient. That's good. That's a good word. All right. That's basically all the questions I had. I don't know. I'm sure there's people out there watching that might have a few questions for you. I mean, it's up to you if you want to stick around and answer a few questions.
Sure.
If you have places to go.
I could take a couple, I guess.
Maybe we'll take 1 or 2 calls with Jay, and then we'll open the phone lines up to everyone. So we got, the show's gonna run to about 8:30. Right now it's about 7, about 5 to 8. So, and also I think I know some people might be watching the show because they're like, oh, the Hawks are on, but we'll give you updates of the game here on this channel, if you could. Stay tuned. So I think Joel's put the phone number up there now. And actually, there's an update right now. I can't read it, but Hawkeye basketball update. 30-second timeout, Wisconsin. So if you're watching the show, stay tuned because there's a timeout anyway.
Not to interrupt you, but who are these people that are like back here? I mean, I don't watch. I just hear the show on the internet,
yeah,
so I don't know.
The guy to your.
So I know people on TV don't realize this, but actually they aren't back. They can't. There's not a picture back there of them.
The guy to your, I guess, be your right. Yeah, the guy over your shoulder. That's Cletus. I don't know.
Yeah, we got a telephone call.
We got a telephone call?
Right.
All right. You want to take this, Jay? You nervous?
That's okay.
Hello?
Hi, Sam?
Yeah. How's it going?
Pretty good.
You been watching the show with the interview here?
No,
All right.
we don't get that channel.
It's on you can listen live on the internet now. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, we don't have a separate phone line though. So.
All right.
But
How can I help you tonight?
Yeah, there's a lot of other good stuff on TV tonight too.
Yeah, well, we have an update. We had the update. You see, we have the Hawkeye update. There's a timeout in Wisconsin, so it's no big deal. So you can watch this.
Yeah, I'm watching 21 too.
All right.
And the Grammy Awards are on.
Oh, they are?
Yeah. And Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
So really, this is probably the best night in television history?
Probably top 10 or so, at least.
All right.
Grammy Awards are pretty good.
What's going on them?
I don't know. Jennifer Lopez had a real revealing dress on. I don't know if you saw the
Yeah.
Britney Spears
Yeah?
at last year's awards.
Yeah?
It's like that, kind of.
Okay.
I don't know if you're allowed to talk about that.
Yeah, this is a family show.
Who's
So.
that on there?
What's that?
Who's that on there?
That's Jay. He's a guest. He just collected unemployment. The show's about unemployment, sir.
Right.
Yeah, so do you have a question about unemployment or something related to the topic? Because, I mean, I understand you watching the Grammys, but this
No,
is...
why would I call in if I didn't have a question about it?
Well, it just seemed like you were rambling on about other
Oh, I'm
topics.
just trying to break the ice a little bit.
I think you've done a nice job.
What's that?
How are the Hawks doing?
I'm not watching the Hawks.
All right. How the Grammys going?
I don't know. Anyways, I got some questions about unemployment.
All right.
First off, I got a couple questions.
Just
You
said
have
that.
time for more than one?
Yeah, 2 maybe.
2 maybe?
Yeah.
That's all I had, I think. Anyways, the first one is, you're talking a lot about the internet before,
Right.
and I'm right now, I'm working, I get paid to surf the internet.
Okay.
through a company. It's not, and the company is not located in Iowa.
How much do you get paid? How much do you get paid then?
Up to $20 a month. Plus, I get a percentage of people I get signed on.
Okay.
You know what signed on is? You know what I'm saying? I signed on, like to the internet.
Yeah. Okay. I mean a little bit. I'm not really.
Maybe you should tell people. I mean, I don't know what it is. Maybe there's other people that don't know what that is.
Signed on.
Yeah.
Signed on basically, I think, means when like you sit down at your computer and you type in a screen name and a password, right?
Right.
And then you go to different websites. That's technically signed on. And then you're saying that every person that you get to, a buddy of yours that signs on, you get money?
Like a percentage of how long they spend on the internet, I get like a percentage of their like wages.
What would you say on average you spend online per day?
Probably 7-8 hours.
A little too much.
That's pretty ridiculous.
What's that?
That's a lot of time. I guess it is a job.
Yeah, I get that. That's what I'm saying. That's why.
So you work about 56 hours a week and you get paid about $20 a month.
What's that?
You work about 56 hours a week, right?
No, I work.
You said 7 to 8 hours a day and 7 days in a week.
Yeah, I don't work as much on weekends. Because I only work. I don't usually sign on much during the weekend.
Actually, I read somewhere that Saturday's a prime sign-on day.
Yeah, but if you treat it as a job, you don't. It's different.
Okay. So you work about 40 hours a week,
Right.
and
No,
you get paid.
about 30.
You get paid about
30.
$20 a month. Is that your only source of income?
That's my question here. 'Cause I'm not working in Iowa. Technically, the paycheck comes from another state.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I should be eligible for unemployment in Iowa since I'm
There's-
not working in Iowa.
Phone number's here. If you have specific questions about your unemployment insurance claim or you are an interstate claimant filing against Iowa from another state.
Yeah, I'd like you to answer the question, not just refer me to somewhere else.
Look, I'm sorry. I'm just a guest on here. This is not my show. I'm not paid to do this. I don't have that much time, and I would prefer that these questions have something to do with me if I'm going to be here listening to them. And I'm just trying to help you, and I'm not...
What does it have to do if it doesn't have to deal with you? I don't even
What?
know who you are.
I'm just a guest on the show. I'm not the host. And I would...
Yeah, I asked the question to Sam, not you.
Well, I have some stuff that will help
Yeah.
you. Here, Sam, you tell him.
Sir?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't ask him. I was asking you.
Yeah, I realize that. I have a number here you can call.
Okay.
351.
Then,
Are you in Iowa City?
Yeah, I live in Iowa City.
Okay. 351
Right?
1035.
Mm-hmm.
And then just explain to them, I mean, what's going on. So you're saying that you want to get unemployment on top of your job?
Yeah, because I'm not working in Iowa technically.
Right. But you are working. That's the thing. You're making money.
Yeah, but it's like I'm working. I'm not working.
I mean, what would you
in
say
Iowa.
your
Do you think that if you work a job in one state, you're going to get unemployment from 49 other states?
I live in Iowa. I don't live in this state where I'm collecting the money. It's almost like I'm not working in Iowa.
Right. So you're making no money in Iowa, right?
Right. So Iowa.
Technically, you're unemployed in Iowa.
Right. Exactly.
Oh man, that's a good point. What are your monthly expenses? I mean, are you able to live on the $20 a month?
Well, I saved up money from past jobs,
Okay.
but I mean,
Yeah, cause I've known people like you that are just working on a small income like that,
yeah.
and instead of collecting unemployment, which might be the thing you want to do, but also it kind of reflects badly on you in the society because people.
I got a job.
Yeah, I'm saying, but instead of collecting unemployment while you work,
Yeah.
I've had buddies of mine that parents have invested money in stocks and whatnot,
Yeah.
and then instead of working, they just cash that stock in. So I don't know if you have any stock. Do you have stocks?
I'm not.
Are you familiar with the stock market?
No.
Okay. Well, that's just
I
one.
have.
Yeah?
I have a savings account.
Yeah, why don't you use some of your money from your savings account?
Yeah, I can't live on $20 a month. That's why I need unemployment.
Okay. Well, I think you have a real valid case when it comes right down to it. Since you are working, but you're unemployed in Iowa. So what I think the best thing, I mean, you say you don't want to be referred to another number, but these guys are the experts, so I'd give them a call, and then, go from there. And if it doesn't work out, we're going to be on next week, so why don't you call back then, and you can let us know, and maybe I can do some research.
Well, what time is this place open? Because I usually work during the day.
Oh, so your phone line is tied up, that's right.
Right.
Maybe you can send them an email.
And maybe you can send them an email.
You guys, their email address?
You could call down there and ask for the email address.
Yeah, when are they open at night?
I know he won't accept any answers from me, but Sam, maybe you could tell him that if he
I can hear
can
you.
look up the number on the internet, like type
Oh,
the number
yeah.
on the internet,
If you're
maybe
trying to
find
make
a
it
page.
sound like I can't hear him, I can hear him. Let him know that. I can hear everything he's telling you. I don't know if
Well, just don't listen to it if you have a problem with it.
Like he said, you could go online and do something. Sir,
I'm already working online. I got a job. I don't need another one.
you probably don't need unemployment then either, do you?
What?
You
Hello?
probably don't need unemployment then
I have
either.
another question,
All right.
and it doesn't have anything to do with this question. Well, it kind of does. I've had some interviews for other jobs,
Right.
several ones for
Right.
this upcoming summer.
Right.
They're called internships.
Internships.
That's what I said.
You said intern. It's no big deal though. Go ahead.
Anyways, if I don't get those jobs,
Right.
can I collect unemployment from all of them, or do I just have to choose which job I want to get?
How many have you applied for?
10 or so.
10 or so?
So can I collect from each job,
Uh,
or do I have to choose the one? Or do they choose for me? Because if I was going to choose, I'd probably choose, the one that pays the highest unemployment.
yeah. That's what most people are going to do. Choose one with the highest that pays the highest, right?
I know the answer to this question. I'm not going to tell you.
I don't want to hear from you anyways. I don't think you know what you're talking about, for one.
Sir?
I've collected unemployment. When have you done it?
Sir?
I try to work for a living.
Fine, work for a living. See if I care. Don't get any unemployment.
Sir?
Yes.
Okay. Here's the thing. Most people in your situation do exactly what you do. They try to say, well, I want to work for the highest paying one. But I think what your best bet is to do is to actually look at where you want to work. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with them. And just pick 5 companies that you would really want to work for. Don't even look at the wages.
Yes.
And just take those 5 and collect unemployment from just those 5.
But
You can say I'd like to work for the most money, but it's gonna come back to haunt you.
usually during the interviews, though, they don't talk about. They don't discuss how much unemployment they pay.
Yeah, well, that's something you might want to do. Maybe email them.
Yeah, I don't have any access to all these email addresses you're telling me about.
What do you do online 8 hours a day?
They make me go to certain sites, and they monitor my activities.
Okay.
It's not like I can't use it for my personal use. It's a job.
Well, the thing is, if you're unwilling to make an effort, then I don't think unemployment's for you.
Well, I thought I could take some time to send an email or something, but I don't know where to. You tell me all these things, and then all you tell me is go do it, and you don't give me any help to find anything. So I don't understand what you guys are doing with this show if you don't have any information at your hand.
I have a book here at my hands.
What is that?
This book here, this Workforce Development Center book. Facts on Unemployment Insurance. Now, what do you call that?
Yeah, but then you never told me anything from it.
You ever told anything from it? Yeah, I told you that
What
phone
is-
number. Sir?
Yeah, and I told you that phone number wasn't going to help me. Or you didn't even tell me the hours.
here's something that might interest you.
Don't you get a break from your job? Aren't you allowed to have a 15-minute break to call people?
Yeah, but they don't want you to sign off from the internet.
Sir,
Yes.
this is right from the book, exactly from the book. It says, do not use cellular or cordless phones.
What?
You're telling me I'm not helping you? To call them.
The cordless.
Yeah. You have a cordless phone?
That's not helping me at all. It's trivial information.
Where else are you going to get this trivial information?
Do you have the hours which they're open? I just want the
7:30 to
hours.
5.
What?
7:30 to 5.
7:30 to 5.
Tuesday through Friday.
Monday through Friday.
Tuesday.
They're not open on Mondays.
Right. Is that uncommon? For a place to be closed on a Monday?
I would say.
You just said you don't work on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, but that's 3 days they're not open. Like a.
Well, just don't.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
they have a staff in-service day
Yeah.
on Mondays. They have
Every
paperwork they have to take care
Most
of when they're
people
not
don't-
talking to people like you.
Every Monday.
Most people have real jobs. They do actually do work. They don't sit on the internet and
No,
go
that's a-
and go to websites.
It's a job.
I understand that, but it's not a real job.
How is it not a real? What is a real job and what's not?
Working at the Iowa Workforce Development Center is a job.
Those
I-
people work hard.
Surfing the web and going to www.wrestleworld.com is not a job.
What the hell is that supposed to mean?
Exactly what I've said it to mean.
So you think just because you got a TV show that you got a real job?
I'm not. This isn't a job. I'm doing this because of public service. What's that called, Joe?
Community service?
I'm doing this because community service, a service to the community. I'm not getting paid here. I have a real job.
So do I. I wish you wouldn't say I didn't.
Let me tell you this, buddy. I made $10 an hour just to come on the show.
You said you didn't. This wasn't a job.
Right. You make $20 a month.
I get paid other wages too when other people sign on. I didn't. I told you that already. It's more than $20 a month.
All right. Well, sir, we have other calls to take tonight.
Yeah, I'd just like you to apologize for saying I don't have a real job.
All
I'd like you to apologize for attacking me when I'm not paid for this.
I'm not paid for it either.
And I didn't attack you.
That's a matter of one's opinion.
Sir, I apologize. You do have a real job.
Thank you.
It's just not a very good one.
How?
Because
Because it doesn't pay
$20
well?
a month, sir.
Because it doesn't pay well, it's not a good job?
What's 20 times 12?
Dude,
120? That's not that much.
more than that. 20
What?
times 12.
Yeah.
10 times 12 would be 120.
Oh, that's what I meant. 10 times.
It's twice that.
You work
2 extra months, you get 10. 10 months getting you 120. Oh,
So
wait
you
a
work
minute.
hard. The thing is you're not making enough money to live.
The fact of the matter is that $20 a month is just the base pay. I get that every month. And plus, a lot of times I'm getting an extra 15-20% of that.
It was 200, not 240.
What's that?
10 times 20 is 200.
10 times 20 is 200.
What is 10 times 20?
Right.
Not 240.
Not 240.
Yeah, I work 10.
Joel has a calculator. All right. Sir, it's about. The show's almost over. We've had one phone call, so I'm going to let you go now.
Yeah, I'm not the one who wanted to stay on the whole time. I just wanted to ask my questions.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, and call back next week if you have another question. I don't know. I mean,
I didn't want to, it's not my show. I didn't want to get up and start screaming and stuff like that. But I really don't have time to stay till 8:30, and I wanted to take 2 calls. And I would prefer to anybody who's out there calling right now that if you're going to call in next, make the question pertain to me, because I have to get going.
yeah, because the show's almost over, and you've had no calls.
I've had no
retained you.
calls, and I have things I have to do.
You came down here, so I understand that. I mean, It's tough to do a show like this. You know, you really you come straight from your other job, right to here. I mean,
I came from my apartment.
you came straight from your. That's what I'm saying. You came straight from. You don't have to be here. You could be at home sleeping, watching the Grammys.
Yeah.
Like this goofball. But anyway, to get back, Cletus, you were talking about asking what the picture was.
What?
The pictures behind you.
Oh.
Yeah, that's Cletus. And actually, people that watch the show know Cletus writes a poem each week, and I'm sorry I delayed here, but here we go. A creature of habit, the little turkey mouse, scampering through the fields of hay, burying little pine nuts near the old tractor. Oh, such an animal it is to require such a lifestyle, and charging around, not taking no for an answer, not taking a minute off to think of his memories. What a wonderful childhood he had, if he would only think about it, but the turkey mouse is too tired, tied up in his work, burying food for the winter. To ask for a second with his child, is this the type of life you envisioned for yourself, little turkey mouse? My presumption is no, but such are the ways of life, and forget about your day in the sun. And thank you for the tributes, Heaven Joel. Cletus.
Call.
What?
Call.
Call?
Yeah, let's Jay answer the question. Come here for a second. I have a question for you.
Hello?
Hello?
Hi there, guys.
Hi.
Hey, I just wanted to call and kind of agree with you guys on the last caller.
Okay.
And the guy, I guess, on my left on the TV, I'll apologize for him. I think you were just trying to help him, and he was maybe taking it the wrong way.
Thank you.
I think maybe the communication wasn't getting through. I think maybe a little bit. But
He seemed very hostile to me, and I didn't see any reason for that.
yeah, you were just trying to help. So.
I mean, when you listen to the call, the guy only makes $20 a week
Oh, I agree.
or a month. I mean,
Well, he was trying to say that he's not employed in Iowa to get money,
Right.
and that's just plain wrong.
yeah,
He's working 7-8 hours. He could get a job somewhere else working 7-8 hours.
right.
You know, and I also want to say I don't think that what you guys were talking about earlier, as far as if you get turned down for jobs, places, I don't think that you just pick who you want to pay your unemployment. I think you have to have been employed by somebody, and they either let you go or you got fired, and then those people have to pay unemployment, I think.
Okay. So you're saying, like, you have to be fired, let go.
Right.
You can't just get rejected for a job offer.
Right.
Okay. That probably sounds right.
And I got one question for
What?
Jim then.
Okay.
If you have to wait for 3 weeks, do they send you 3 weeks worth of checks, or do they just start you 3 weeks?
My name's Jay. It's not Jim.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's not Jim.
Jay.
That's okay. That's a good question.
What was the question again?
If you have to wait 3 weeks to get your first check, do they send you a lump sum of the first 3 weeks, or do they start you out in 3 weeks?
I didn't get it yet. I don't know what they're gonna do. I think maybe it's just your first week comes in 3 weeks, and then you get more
Okay.
later. I don't.
So for 3 weeks, you
I
don't
don't know.
get anything then.
Right. Like I haven't got anything yet. Maybe at the end of the 3 weeks I'll get a lump sum, but they didn't say anything about that. So
That would make sense.
I assume that I think I'm just gonna get a week, but I guess we'll see. I'm gonna cross my fingers and hope for the best.
If I may ask, how long do you think it'll be before you get to go back to your job? Is it seasonal or?
It's kind of like, I don't want to say what I do,
No.
because I think it's against the rules here at APTV to do that. It's kind of like, the way I describe it to people is it's kind of a job like, it's not Kentucky Fried Chicken, but like if I worked at Kentucky Fried Chicken, it would be kind of like that, except for like if they give me the chicken and I have to tell them how good the chicken is. And to make that metaphor keep going is like say they run out of chicken and I have to wait for a while, and then I guess Monday they're gonna get more of the stuff that isn't chicken but is.
So how long have you been off then? That's what he's trying to ask.
Since, well, I can tell by looking at my driver's license.
That was the day you went
I got my
in.
driver's license the same day I applied. This says it was issued February 1st, but I think I actually had been off for a few days
So
before
then,
then.
do you think you'll be? Does your employer think you'll be off for 1 month or 2 months or 3 months?
I guess I'm supposed to be going back on Monday.
Oh, well, that's not too bad.
So about a month then.
Yeah.
Right.
So you'll actually be working again, and then you'll get a check still from the Iowa Workforce Development for the past month that you didn't work, hopefully, right?
Hopefully they don't say, like, when it comes time, when, say, next week comes and it's time to give me the checks, hopefully they don't say, well, look, you got a job now, and we're not going to send you a check. That's kind of my nightmare.
Yeah.
That'll happen. But I don't think they would do that because that would just be unfair.
Yeah, I agree. Hey, I just want to say that I haven't watched this show too much, but it's kind of cool, and I saw it about, I don't know, a year or so ago, and I didn't even think it was still on, but...
Yeah, we had a time change, but we're still around.
All right.
All right, thanks for calling.
You're welcome.
All right, have a good night.
We talk about the time change a lot. I think the biggest, I mean, I don't want to jump in, but the biggest thing that's happened to your show is the fact that you're on every day now and every night.
Yeah.
Used to be on in the afternoon, like 2:30.
Used to be on about 4:30 or 4 o'clock, yeah. We had so many calls that we just had to change things around. But, yeah, I mean, he's been along. He said he watched us last year, so it's nice to hear a long time.
Well, I said I would take 2 calls, and that's how many calls I've taken. So now
You're
I'm
gonna
gonna
take
go.
off? Okay. Well, thanks a lot for coming down. Here's your book. I don't want to take that on you. I know you got to get going, but you helped a lot of people, I'm sure. Jay, thanks. All right, so now it'll just be me, but I mean, I know a little bit of what Jay was talking about. I mean, I've never collected unemployment, like I said, but I did see the book, so things are going pretty good. We got about 10 minutes left in the show, which nowadays that's about.
I need that pen back. I need it
Oh,
back
okay. Let's see if I can find some more things to read here. Here's a letter from Jillian S. Dear Sam and Joel, I saw your stand-up comedy routine at the open mic night at the Mill recently. Although many people are interested in the lives of others, I believe calling your act as a comedy routine is rather misleading. As far as I could tell, your act was merely a reason to complain about the hassles of living with your grandma. A key to any comedy routine is that the speaker must be able to be identified with by the audience. Suffice to say, not many people can identify with living with their grandma. In addition, things you complain about are not as much humorous as they are just observations of what older people do. For instance, complaining how long it takes her to get out of the easy chair is not really funny, but rather one of the sad realities of growing old. In the future, I suggest you stick to your daily show. That should keep you busy enough. Keep up the good work, Jillian. Point well taken, I guess. We have a call here. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Sorry about that.
Oh, it's okay. I could barely hear you.
Yeah, I hit the speaker button, then I hit it again, then I hit it a third time. So you were on, off, on.
Oh, we must have
I just missed you.
just missed each other.
Yeah.
Hey,
What's going on?
I'm watching the show, and I saw that gentleman that was with you left.
Yeah, he had to get going.
Okay.
If you have questions for him, I can, try to get to him and get in touch with him this week and get back to you next week. But
Well, I was watching,
Well,
I work with disabilities.
right,
People with disabilities.
you have disabilities. You work with.
I work with people with disabilities,
Okay.
and I was wondering if that gentleman that was with you.
Uh huh.
He said he can answer questions if you want.
Jay can. You want to answer him?
I don't know if I'll know the answer.
Jay, you want to come back out here and answer his questions? I guess he's gonna come back out.
Oh, great. Because he might. This is good for him. I think.
Okay.
I might have something that he'd be interested in.
Yeah.
I was wondering, have you ever been diagnosed with any mental disorders or anything like that?
Are you being serious, sir?
Yes, I am. I work with people with disabilities.
Well, look, I don't want to make it sound like there's something wrong with having a disability or a mental disorder.
Right.
That's something that
No, I don't mean any offense by this at all. Believe me. This is for your own good, and I'm just curious.
I know that the vice president's wife has a mental disorder, and
Is that right?
she said that she's going to tell people about it and that there's nothing wrong with it, and I agree with that. But I think you're making fun of me.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Listen, because just from watching your mannerisms, I thought maybe if you've ever gone to a psychiatrist, you might have schizophrenia or bipolar disorder, possibly with some mild mental retardation. And if that's the case,
Yeah,
I mean, I don't think. I mean, I hate to cut that guy off, but
I had places I had to go, and I came all the way out here to.
yeah, I understand, sir.
Yeah, that'd be a more appropriate question off the air, because we're on, I mean, I think.
Yeah, broadcast all over on the internet. Do you know as far as next week what's going on, or our schedule for the rest of the? Cause we're not gonna do it every day anymore, are we?
I don't think we can, not with class.
Yeah.
We're going to have a theme show next week, like, I don't know if we should do it or not.
What is it gonna be?
This is going to be like a miniature New Year's party.
That's not bad. I mean, yeah, see how much time we got left here? Not too much, huh? Yeah, I guess next week we might try to have a New Year's party, somewhat. A Millennium Party, New Year's, because this is the first time anyone's really talked about that. I didn't even think about that, because we didn't do anything to have the New Year's when we had a show on New Year's, the 2-hour marathon, but we didn't really, have to celebrate or talk about the top 10 things of the last year or last millennium. I think that might be something we could do, possibly. But I'm sure we don't have too much time left. But I'd just like to do some closing remarks. Thank everyone that called in and watched, and to Jay for coming out here. And even though I had to put up with a few not disorderly calls, but calls that kind of stretch the limit. And like he said, he's a busy guy, and to get called back out here to be insulted, I mean, I even have to agree with him there. That's crossing the line. And I apologize to the guy cut off. I mean, he may have some good points, but just with the lawsuits nowadays, we really can't afford to do that. We had one good call there with some valid points. The first caller seemed like a nice guy, but I think he may have just been a little uptight. I mean, I surf the web occasionally, and I mean, once in a while, even I get upset. You go to a website, it won't open, real slow, something like that. You get upset. I mean, I can only imagine this guy's online 8 hours a day. You're gonna go wacko, pretty much. I mean, you get to a website, you think, oh, click here to download this picture or whatnot. And it doesn't download. You're like, damn, you're upset. And this guy does it every day, 5 days a week. I don't be surprised he goes on the weekends. He says he doesn't. Who am I to say? Joel?
What?
You want to say something? Or do we have a call or what? The show's almost over, huh?
Yeah, it's about 3 minutes left.
Okay. I mean, I don't know if you want to make an appearance, but
I don't think I will today.
yeah.
Better not.
I know you're feeling kind of under the weather.
I just wanted to apologize for my my screening of calls.
You're not doing a nice
Usually do
job?
a little better job than that.
What happened?
All that first, well, I guess it wasn't too bad, but I kind of insulted our guest, that one guy did, and stuff like that. So.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can only do so much screening the calls. I mean, a lot of times, like, I know some people, like, when they call shows, they say, I'm going to ask this question. But then when they get on the air, they ask something totally different. They lied to the screener pretty much. I think that's what's happening with you back there.
Yeah.
We didn't have a whole lot of calls tonight, but with
Yeah.
the guests and everything, I don't think it's that big a deal. But maybe. Play a song here or something?
Wrap it up.
Wrap it up?
What track is it, do you know?
No, just look on the back, I guess. So generally, I think it's a pretty good show just because we had a guest. But next week, hopefully we'll have, there's a chance of another guest. And I'll even do some research on different subjects. I was thinking about possibly, I don't know, it's been a while now, we had a picnic called Picnics. And once the weather gets nice, I thought we'd have a picnic with all our former guests and our current guests and me and
What's the
Joel.
name of the song?
We are the Volunteers, I believe. Let's hear it for the Volunteers. We have a special track here,
Got it.
special music track here to end the show. So I think the show's almost over, but this is one of my favorites by a local band. I believe it'd be at Gabe's. They usually come to Gabe's once or twice a year, so keep an eye out for them. It's the Cricket. Some
Jenny is a baker and she works all night. She smiles like an angel on her mountain bike. She made the cookies and they taste just right. Jenny is a volunteer. Or they open up the hall in the afternoon to help performers to stay in tune. They'll be cleaning up by the light of the moon. Let's hear it for the volunteers. And it's 1, 2, 3, hey! Help them put the chairs away. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here. Let's hear it for the volunteers. Oh, there goes Spike, he's seen it all. He's the one who let the curtain fall. I was changing clothes and I mooned you all. Let's hear it for the volunteers. Oh, Kathy is the one in the yellow pants. She loves the music.